Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Psychic Saturday Night Live. Love Day, Lunar New Year, and Solar Eclipse Edition. It's a biggie. How's everyone doing? This has been a pretty intense week. Well, the last couple of weeks have been pretty intense for people, but this gearing up for this solar eclipse. Friday the 13th yesterday, Valentine's Day today, the 17th, the Lunar New Year, bringing in the year of the horse. This is the last of the snake energy, and it's pretty intense, pretty intense. Oh yeah, for those who celebrate the Catholic traditions, we have Fat Tuesday on Tuesday, where everybody eats pancakes and fattens themselves up. Ash Wednesday comes on Wednesday there, of course, and that signifies the beginning of Lent, where you start giving up all kinds of stuff. So, needless to say, and Ramadan happens and all this other stuff. Needless to say, there's a lot going on. There's incredible fluctuations to the energy, and it has been incredibly intense, very volatile. People's emotional experiences are all up in it. I can just tell you that everybody seems to be feeling this stuff, this energy. So, and again, these emotional waves that are floating around based on all the stuff that's been happening lately, all of the releasing of certain files and the revealing of certain names and everything. Just wow. Just wow. It's a lot, and it ripples out. And even if you're not aware of it, you're going to feel it because you're an energetic being who is picking up what's in the airwaves, and yeah. So if you're feeling a lot of energies and you're feeling a lot of intensity to them and a lot of emotional overwhelm and all of these different, things that go along with our experience right now, trust me when I tell you, you're not alone. There are so many people I'm speaking to and so many places I'm seeing it. It's the time we're in. This whole month is about balance, and yet there seems to be a struggle to find it for many. So if this is you, again, don't feel bad. You're perfectly in with a lot of what's going on, and we just need to take deep breaths. Remember that we are here for this experience, as wild as it is. Wow, it is wild. I want to sort of quickly address this too. The more people find out, the more we're challenged to stay in a loving place and to let love in to the experience for yourself, to keep yourself in a place of love, and to really, focus on the right part of things. Listen, the information that's being disclosed is absolutely horrific. It's incredibly horrific. It's diabolical. It is demonic. It is everything. And it's easy to get outraged. And we ought to be to a certain degree, but we can't be consumed by it. We cannot let ourselves just be taken over by it. We have to come back to that's what that is. And if that incites that kind of feeling in you, then know that you also have the capacity to dig deep and find that exact amount of love, proportionate amount of love inside. Love, healing, understanding, compassion, all of these things. So, and it's hard. I know it's hard for us to be in that place a lot of the time because, what we see is... So, keep your focus on love and healing because that's what the world needs. We see what's happening here is, showing us where the world needs healing and who in the world needs healing the most. And that's the most important part to remember. So it's a very intense time. I'm going to just keep saying it because it is it. And there's really, there's nothing more you can say. This is the ride. That's what we came for, the white knuckle part of it all. And we're here to hold the light. We're here to hold the light strong, steady, and bright. And that's what we need to do. That's what to keep that focus on. And so sometimes when we get caught up in the energetics of things, stuff can compile and you can feel like you're, carrying around the weight of the world. And a lot of times it's not just your own stuff. You've picked up somebody else's stuff perhaps, or you have, got just so much of an accumulation that other things are actually attracted to you and compiling that for you. If that's the case, clearings are back on sale again, because I've been doing them for people a lot lately, and I cannot stress enough, these thoughts in your mind, these thoughts in your head, these feelings you're having, the encounters you're having, all of that stuff is often orchestrated and influenced by forces that prefer to keep you in those places and, thrive on you being there when you're not thriving. And so, definitely think about that. Clearings are really important for people because, again, we accumulate a lot of stuff. And if you don't do that for yourself, if you don't clear yourself and you don't pay attention to where you've been and what you've engaged with and what you've exposed yourself to, then, what goes on in the dark you're not aware of. And so you don't necessarily think of it as influencing you. So clearings are on sale again. We're going to take another $100 off the top there. So $150 is your price. Really, really good deal. And I can tell you what we clear off of there is what we clear off of you and even your families. It'll trickle out towards all of those you love and care about, because they're also afflicted by stuff. Let's just face it, it's prevalent in the world. We see it. If you think that evil is just happening in certain places, on certain islands, and in certain underground cities or whatnot for entertainment purposes only, then you're sadly mistaken. It's everywhere. It's everywhere, and that's what we're here for, to help lighten it up, help brighten it up, and help dispel that darkness by shining our lights and by letting love in to do the job. So clearings are important. And also, I'm going to let you know too, just as a wonderful gift for people, from the 14th to the 17th, just until the new year. Well, maybe we'll go to the Friday, the 20th. We'll give it till the 20th. We're going to do a deal on readings. So it's a lovely gift to give people that you care about, whether it be, a forecast or an actual just reading about what's going on in their life right now. We're going to take $20 off the top. So that brings you down to $155. Really good deal. And jam-packed full of information. Lots of, beautiful guidance from the higher realms, the light realms, those that can see things that we don't necessarily see because we're down here in the darkness. And we can only see a certain amount of around us until we start clearing it all out. And so it's important, but yeah, check it out. Readings are really, really awesome. They do come, like I said, jam-packed full of information and lots of messages generally, lots of experiences to talk about and whatnot. So if you have any questions or anything like that, and you are just looking for some kind of guidance, think about a reading, or gift one to somebody and help them find a little guidance for their lives. So that's the housekeeping out of the way right early and really fast, because we're not going to keep you long tonight, because people have places to go, things to do, and love to share. Anything else I need to know? Oh, Spirit, come on. Yeah, I don't want to yawn in front of everybody, so you're making my nose itch again. Okay, what was the other thing I wanted to talk about? Oh, yeah. Lots of stuff is happening. And even here on the west coast of our country, a lot of stuff is taking place. Please use discernment. Open your heart. Let love in, but use discernment, because so much of what you see is meant to show you something that isn't real. Right? It's meant to, deceive you. I can't help it. That's just the way it is. Just feel like, don't shoot the messenger. For goodness sakes, listen, us truth tellers, we don't like it any more than you do. And it rocked our world when we learned it too. It's crazy. Cognitive dissonance is going to be absolutely rampant. I'm just telling you right now, because people are not going to want to believe what they're seeing and hearing. And it's coming out everywhere you go. It's everywhere you go. Be patient with people, especially for those of us who have known for a really long time what's going on, and they're just coming to it now. It's going to break their brains. They're not going to be able to compute what is being shown to them. And so you got to be careful, how much you got to piecemeal people's stuff if you can, but you got to be there for them, because they're going to have a really hard time. They really are. A lot of people are. I read comments and I'm just like, they're absolutely abhorred. They don't know what to say. And the stuff that's coming out is pretty gruesome. Like, it's pretty rude, pretty really crude. So try to be patient. This is the age of enlightenment. This is the age of information, but that's how the enlightenment occurs, because of course, knowledge is light, and it's going to be everywhere. Be patient, right? And all levels of it too, by the way, like, because it just infiltrates everywhere. But it's necessary for this journey. It's necessary for the whole deal here. So, people are where they are. And everybody's in a different place. Everybody's in a different space. Some can handle stuff, some can't. Again, just be discerning, and don't overload yourself with stuff either, because it can be really heavy. It can be really, really heavy. And when you finally get to a place where you really recognize what's happening, what's unfolding here, and, the incredible divine experience that we're all experiencing here, we're all encountering, you transcend a lot of stuff, and you learn to embrace what's happening here. And it's not it's not what we didn't come to do. We came to embrace it all, right? The good, the bad, the ugly. And Lord knows, demons need love. They are so far away from love, they don't even know what it is. And these evil people you see coming out and being exposed, they need love too, because they clearly don't know what it is, the truest form of it. They're so far away from being what true source light is, and source love is. They're going to have a really long way getting back to it. They're going to have a really long journey home. I call it the long, cold journey of space dust return. So when their turn comes, it's not going to be pleasant for them. And the rest of us who can open our hearts to the compassion that is needed in this day and age, and spread it around as much as we can, we're not going that way. That's the organic way to ascend. It's knowing yourself and letting love in, and letting love take care of everything. So, yeah. So there we are. Okay. I trust all are well tonight. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're going to do our handy dandy tarot like we always do. We're entering a Pisces month of Pisces, the sign of Pisces. Gonna do our brick like we always do. And tonight, again, because it is all about the light, we're coming back to the keepers of the light and see what ascended masters have to say. And secret language of light. That's the next one. We're going to see what light has to say to us. So, there we are. Here we are. Bit of a bumpy ride, but it's all good. Here we go. 3 of Pentacles and the Tower card coming in for our first break of the cards. 3 of Pentacles, again, is all about work. The work we do mostly for paychecks, but certainly stuff that is laborsome. And, bit of an effort. Bit of an effort. And the Tower card, well, let's face it, folks. The Crisis card. It's where we are. People are really having a hard time. I don't know what's going on astrologically. I know that I've heard talk about some sort of conjunction that's coming up, and quite frankly, I don't get astrology as well as others do, so I try to stay in my lane because it just it just boggles my brain trying to understand it all, conjunctions and all of that stuff. I know the basics, the very, very basics of it all. But what I can feel coming, I can tell you right now, is immense. Something immense is happening. And we're just going to have to ride that through, right? Ride it out. 3 of Pentacles again, and another big card, the Hangman. That's the card that always says to me, go ahead, put your feet up. Just chill. I got this. It's like Source is saying, we got this. We're taking care of everything for you. You really can't do much about it anyway. So let us take care of everything for you. So there we are. And the 3 of Pentacles, once again, coming in with the Page of Pentacles. This is our final shuffle. That page is all about practicality, what works for us, in a grounded material way, what helps us feel better, what really is, the most conducive to whatever results you're looking for. Here we are. Okay. Mind, body, and soul. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Love Day. You know, trace the origins of this day. And it's interesting that they put it all about love. And you know, the Friday the 13th stuff is all about divine feminine, you know. It's not a day of bad luck at all. It's actually a very lucky day. Very lucky day. So don't be fooled. A lot of the superstitions have been taught to us that are incorrect. And certainly not the truth of what we need to know. There we are. Mind, body, and spirit. Ha ha. Nine of Wands comes in with discipline, mental discipline. Right now is the biggest time to have that. Like when we are all experiencing these fluctuations, this is the time where we really need to stay the course. Stay the course. And you know what? It's not just about staying the course. It's literally about, you know, having that discipline to know that there's going to be rocks. You're going to have to encounter some rocks, you know, and there's going to be some choppy waters and probably some big, big waves, you know, and that happens. It's, again, par for the course. We can't have easy sailing, smooth sailing all the time. It's just not part of where we are or what we're doing here. So this mental space is all about staying disciplined in your mind and knowing that you can get through these hard times. You can get through these challenges that we've worked on it for a year now, almost, people. Well, we've been working on it a lot longer than that, haven't we? But doing these Saturday Night Lives, we've been working on it. We've been learning how to be the master for ourselves, how to be in command of our thoughts and our experiences and all of those things and why it's important. And, you know, all of that, we've been working on that. We've been talking about it. That's how we work on it, is by, you know, taking in the information and processing it and then allowing it to actually do what it's supposed to do and being, you know, diligent even in applying ourselves to it. Discipline. So stay the course. Don't engage. If you can avoid it, if people are, you know, upset around you or things are happening around you and you really can't do anything about it and it's completely, you know, not something you can benefit by being in the middle of, get out, get away from it, and just, you know, totally detach yourself from the situation. It's the only way sometimes to actually stay, you know, grounded and balanced, is by not engaging, because some of these experiences you might encounter are going to be pretty strong and pushing you to the triggers, you know. And while they are certainly helpful in some cases, know when to pick your battles. That's a really important thing, right? Knowing when to pick your battles. So in the body space, we have to really recognize our material world around us. And if we want inner peace, which is what this card speaks to, and serenity and calm waters rather than those choppy ones that we see, we're going to have to go inside. And we're going to have to really stay grounded and centered in ourselves so that that does not happen, right? So that we don't end up in those melees or whatever they are. We are completely surrounded by calm, cool waters, right? Relaxed waters. And then that's when we give ourselves an opportunity to feel inner peace. You're not stressed out, you're not chaotic, you're not, you know, everywhere, you're not fighting about anything or struggling with that, you know, conflicted or confronted by anything. You're just, and it's not serenity now either. It's like true peaceful serenity, like just calm serenity. That's what we need. That's what you need to maintain in your physical environment. That's what you need to maintain in your, you know, your world around you as much as possible. And the only way to really do that is to go inside and to allow those thoughts to be quelled, those choppy waters to be soothed, and just, it's okay. You can recognize them. They need to have some sort of attention, but then don't dwell. Don't stay there too long. Spirit's going to come in and help us with that in a big, big way. With what? Look at this card, folks. Justice. The Justice card. This is all about truth and integrity and balance and honesty and justice. Justice, which, let's face it, I think is on everybody's mind right now. You know, you see these pillars? This occulted vision, right? It's all about the black and white. There's really not much of a gray area. It either is or it isn't. You know what I'm saying? And they want everything distorted. They want it all in that gray space so that, you know, it's blurry for people and they don't see it. But Spirit comes in to help us bring truth to the matter. It's all about the truth right now. It's being revealed, exposed, and disclosed everywhere right now. And it is shocking. It is shocking. I feel for those people who are just learning this stuff now. I feel for those people who are just waking up to what's really running around in this world, you know? I mean, and how deep it runs. You know, like Stuff that most of us would be like, are you kidding? That's like a movie. That's from a movie. That can't be real. Well, hate to break it to you, but it's true. And we've been red pilled all along, all the way around. You know, so the most outrageous things you're going to hear, believe them until they're proven incorrect or, you know, not real, fake, whatever. Believe them, as crazy and outrageous as they may be. Yeah. Unfortunately. The faster we come to the truth, the faster it sets us free. And again, I've said for a long time now, I don't want to live somebody else's lies. I don't want to. That's not in my soul's journey. My soul's journey is a quest for truth, right? To know myself, to learn about love, to learn about light, and to make my way home the way I was intended to, organically, ascending the way we're supposed to. Now look at that. Again, you can't make this stuff up, but look at it. So I break this deck here for the brick, right? Look at that. Master of my life. And look at the way that picture is. On the other side, we have this. Never alone. Same kind of thing. Arms outstretched, looking up. You know why? Because up is where it's at. Up is where we're headed, kind of, sort of. Yeah. You know, not in a linear way, dimensionally, vibrationally, frequency-wise, you know, all of that stuff. We're headed up because this dimension that we're in right now is of the lowest vibrations. And we're meant to go up. And the only way to do that is to release those low vibrations and actually allow yourself to float, to rise, to transcend, right? Because otherwise, magnetically, you're going to be held here. And grounded in the world, and grounded to the planet, rather, is different than being in the world. A different experience altogether. So, very, very awesome journey that we're all on here. And those of us who are aware of what's going down, or going on, you know, we're coming to this. We're coming to what it is we came to do, and that is to be the light. And to let love in. All right, let's see what the brick has to say. Because I wasn't going to spend much time dwelling on all this stuff on account of people got places to go, things to do, and love to spread. So, consciousness. That's what we're talking about. Today I pay attention to every thought and feeling that I manifest. My outer world reflects my inner consciousness. I pour the light of my awareness on my most constructive thoughts so that they will grow and produce the experiences I want. Mindful of what I create in this universe, I become an expression of divine light. Yeah, you just can't. Now, let's see what the keepers of the light have to say to us. You know, all those who've got loved ones in spirit, just know that they're around you today too, because the frequency of love hauls them in, brings them in. It just beautifully magnetically draws them to you. And so if you're feeling them around you, that's not your imagination. It's what they use to get to you, though. Your imagination is what they use to bring those messages, those thoughts, those feelings to you. Otherwise, your logical brain would be saying, well, that can't be, and then it would dismiss it, and then you'd miss out. But your right brain, your imaginative side, definitely allows for these messages. So if you're feeling them around you, just know they're there. It's not a mistake. You're not making it up. They're using that to get to you. Remember, in your imagination, you are the magi of your nation. So just thinking about it. All right. Ooh, we're going to go forward with this, see what they have to say, and then we'll get this out of the way. Okay. Keepers of the Light. Oh, yeah, sorry. By Kyle Gray. Love this guy's energy. I love all these really super positive people. All right, right here. This is the one. I like the other side too, so I'll show you this side first. And then I'm going to show you this. That's the Master Buddha. And it says increased awareness, deep connection, and trust your inner voice. Where do I find the Master? 76. The Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama, started his life as a rich, mollycoddled prince. What an interesting word, mollycoddled. But one day he broke free from the palace and was exposed to sickness, age, and death. This shook him and set him off on a spiritual adventure that would lead him to leave behind all his earthly pleasures and seek enlightenment so that he could end suffering in the world. Now he helps us make contact with our inner teacher and encourages us to acknowledge how we feel and then accept it so that we can move beyond the suffering we feel. You're moving beyond the illusions that fear has created so that you can be more focused on your priorities when what is serving you in this path. All suffering eventually comes to an end, and acknowledging how you really feel and what occurred in order for you to feel this way will help you move beyond it. Call on Master Buddha now to help you remember you're part of something that is greater than suffering. The wheel of karma is turning in your favor, and all your acts of kindness and goodness will benefit you. Thoughts may arise now that solve issues in your life, home, relationships, or work. They're being sent to you from your inner teacher, the Buddha within. What a beautiful card. Love that. Who doesn't love the Buddha? Okay, next one's up. Secret Language of Light by Denise Jarvie. And this is a very pretty deck too. Love the colors, love the pictures, love it all. Just one shuffle. One will do it. All right. Let's have a little look here. Can't shuffle. Can't fan this one out as easy. Where am I going here? Where am I going? All right. There. This one. This one. All right. Wellness. Yeah, 24. Good gravy, there's a lot here. All right. Actually, it's not as much as I think. What a beautiful card. Tune into your body. You're entering a time when your body will become stronger. If you've been or are sick, you are on your way to feeling better. Begin to focus on a sense of well-being. If you're healthy, you'll be inspired to strengthen your body through yoga or another form of exercise. Your body is enlightened and knows how to heal itself. Every feeling, be it pain, butterflies, excitement, or love, is a message from one part of the self to another. Tune into your body through meditation and ask what you can do to improve your well-being. Behind the human in the image is the flower of life. A symbol that represents the process of creation. It is made up of overlapping circles that are repeating expression of the first circle. It's a geometric metaphor reminding us that the nature of life is continual expansion. Your body takes you everywhere you go, so acknowledge, thank, and love it. So you got to get to know your body and remember that it's listening to you, everything you say, feel, and think. Everything. It has its own interpretation of those thoughts, feelings, and things you've said. And so on a subconscious level, that might show up differently as a physical manifestation in your body than what you actually said, right? So we all know how these kinds of things can work. People who have trouble stomaching life, have digestive problems. People who get pissed off a lot, often have bladder problems or urinary tract infections and stuff of that nature. People who can't handle the poop in their life get constipated or have the runs, one or the other. People who can't take their poop end up with constipation, and those who can't handle it end up with diarrhea. Anyway, the point is, your body's always listening, and you've got to tune into it, and you have to listen to what it's telling you so that you can give it what it needs from you. And that's the most important part. So get to know your body by asking it questions. You can talk to your innate system, which is your body's operating system. You can ask it all kinds of questions and get answers. You just have to trust what you receive. And again, you're not making it up. It's coming to you on a channel of energy. Pay attention to what you're sensing and how it communicates, how your body communicates this to you. If you've got any pain or discomfort in your body, send it light. And when you're in the shower, imagine the water is healing light, washing away all forms of pain. Research your chakras and the flower of life. And I would encourage you to look up the flower of life in its truest form, not necessarily the one that a lot of us are familiar with, actually, because it's slightly distorted. and learn a new way to move your body around. You know, Tai Chi or Qigong or all kinds of wonderful yoga moves and things of that nature. You know, just moving and tuning into the body, moving the body and tuning into it. It's really, really helpful because we are here to learn ourselves, who we are, what we're all about, where we came from, you know, what we can do for ourselves, and how we shine, how we can actually shine the most. We can do this. We've got this. We just have to let love in, focus on the right stuff. You know, we can't ignore the stuff that we don't like. We have to see it and acknowledge it. But then if we can do something about it, great. Let's do something about it. If we can't, then we have to put it out there that we know that there's a solution coming, and that we are trusting that that process will unfold, because there are divine forces at play. You know, it's not all that icky stuff is down here, but above that, right, in those higher realms of being, in those higher states and planes of existence, it's all light. It's all light. There's no darkness up there, or out there, wherever it may be. It just isn't. Only from a certain dimensional space down do we encounter this. And it's because that's part of the journey here. So, we're having some challenging times, and a lot of people are struggling right now. A lot of people, emotionally, mentally, physically even, and spiritually. It's a huge, huge poop show. So, take that time. Take this, this time for yourself, and just breathe. Breathe and ground yourself, and don't engage. You can quell those waters. You can calm the storm, and you can navigate those choppy rocks and waves. You just got to trust in yourself. But you can only do it from a place of centered groundedness, right? Which means you've got to take those deep breaths first. Don't try to do it when you're all up in it. Body space says that peace, that serenity, that'll be yours in your physical world. It'll be yours in your, everywhere around you in your own personal world. Just got to make sure that you're in command of the space. You're in command of your thoughts. You're in command of the car and the way you're driving it. Because Spirit's there to help us, and they're going to help us bring balance to it all. And that's what this is about, this justice. Bring balance. You know, the pendulum is way, way, way on the other side right now. We're waiting for it to come back and settle in. When it does, then we can actually really do what we came to do, and that is to transcend from that space up. Right now we got to go through this crap. So the justice card is Spirit letting us know that no matter what we see, the truth prevails, justice wins, love always wins, and light always dispels the darkness. Always. Master Buddha will tell us that we don't have to suffer, right? We don't have to be in that place of suffering. We just have to, tune into our inner voice and trust it, use our awareness, and connect ourselves. Everybody has an opportunity to connect to not just yourself inside, but your creator, the source, the prime creator, the original one. There's been a lot of creators along the way. The original one is the one we want. The prime creator. The one that they all have to go back to. That started it all. Source. That's what we're looking for. And wellness. And that's what we're going to get when we do that. When we do that. Wow. Big week coming. Big week past. Lots going on. Love. Got to let it in so we can share it and spread it out. It's important. And consciousness. Don't forget about consciousness, Brenda. Because that's what it all comes down to, right? Paying attention to our thoughts and feelings. What we think about and feel, we put out there. And that's what we're creating for tomorrow. So when we get ourselves all up in arms and we get ourselves incited, to rage, and not in a productive way, because there is a way to actually be enraged and be productive about it, we get caught up and consumed with things, and that's not productive at all. So just remember, we got this. That's how we got here. It's only special people that can be here. It's only special souls that are here for this time. Otherwise, you wouldn't be. So that's why not everybody's on the planet, because there's plenty of room here, Plenty of room on this planet. Don't buy into that depopulation stuff and the overpopulation crap. Okay. So, again, entertainment purposes only. Facebook. Get over yourself. On that note, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me here this evening. I always enjoy our time together, because that brings me into a place of, calm serenity where I'm at. And I love it because I get to talk to you all about things that matter, and things that are important. So that helps me shine my light because that's what I'm here to do. And so when I'm in that place in me and you're in that place in you, together we're one light, one beautiful radiant light. Namaste. Until next week, when we enter the sign of Pisces and all is a whole new ball game, I bid you farewell this evening and enjoy your wonderful love day. Take care. Bye now.